awesome, man. Well, again, thanks for doing this. Talk to me about you're originally from Jamaica. Tell me a little bit about growing up there.
Jamaica is a beautiful place. I mean, I can turn on the camera right now and show you guys, like, it's, you know what I mean, like, everyone, you know what I mean, it's a beautiful place with beautiful people, you know what I mean. Everyone here, they have their own sense of creativity in everything that they do, you know what I mean. Everyone is an individual, everyone is a superstar, and you know what I mean. That's why so much stars come from Jamaica. So we give thanks. Yeah, it's really great to live here. Actually, as soon as I heard about the interview, one of the first things came to my mind was Jamaica. Like, there's this band called Inner Circle. You probably know them. Them sing a tune named Bad Boys, Bad Boys. What you gonna do?
Yeah.
Enough for that tune, see? And them have a tune with one of the greats, Jacob Miller, that say basically the name bringing it forward, like forward ever, backward never. It's just it's a funny thing, you know. Like Jamaica, we like to play on words just for a living, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I
love that. Very cool. Well, how did you get into music? Were you around it quite a bit?
Yeah, my father is one of the legends in the music industry, and we give thanks for just being born into a legacy, you know what I mean? Because, you know, some people say you don't really get to choose where you're born or how you're born or whatever, but I really believe that right before that time when you're coming to earth, you ask for what you want. You ask for all your talents, you ask for all your blessings, you ask for all of them things. And how much you want it is how much life gives it to you and grants it. So I was born into a musical family, so I give thanks for that.
That's cool. So you said your father is a musician as well.
Yeah, and my mom was a manager and still is my manager, but a manager and a booking agent from I was growing up. Yeah.
That's cool. Well, tell me about that a little bit. Were you able to go to your dad's shows and stuff as a kid?
I mean, yeah, we went to all shows, most shows, you know what I mean? And so even performed on some from like 3 years old, come straight up to till in like high school.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. So that's cool. Tell me about were you like being on the stage? Like, were you backstage? Like, how is that as a kid? That must have been
Bro, I don't even remember, to be honest. Like, as a child, you don't really care about none of that. You're just running up and down. You're just playing, plugging shit out that you're not supposed to plug out. You know what I mean? Like, fighting people you're not supposed to fight. Like, you're a child. You don't really care about the backstage or who you're meeting or VIP. You don't even know what that is. You know what I
mean? Right. That's cool, though. What a cool experience to have. Well, what was the first instrument you learned?
I'd have to say vocals and my hearing. You know what I mean? Because my hearing developed at like very tender age and just understanding the sound of music, and then do that guitar. Yeah, and I played a couple things afterwards. You know what I mean? Bass. Yeah, different instruments.
Sure. With the guitar, when did you start writing songs? How old were you? Do you remember?
Yeah, my father used to write songs for me like when I was 9, you know what I mean? Young, tender age. And then from there, I ventured on into writing for myself and them thing there. You know what I mean? Then it was a vibe that from high school really is when I started writing for myself. And I started to play guitar at that time too. So my writing was driven towards that kind of sound.
Okay. With that, like, did you start a band in high school or anything with some friends, or
kinda actually?
Okay.
Yeah. With this, I was the president of the music club one time.
Oh wow!
But I was apparently it was alleged, rumored that I was taking the room and the musicians for my own bidding, which was not really true. But it's a But we just was playing music, and after high school, we formed a band called Runkus and the Old School Band. It was really my old school band. So we just called it the Old School Band because it was like, you know, young youths with a band that playing old school music, you know what I mean? But we're bringing new vibes and energy to it.
Wow. Okay. That's cool. And then would you play out like around like, where you grew up?
Yeah, we play around like in Kingston, in different places in Jamaica. We get different bookings, and that's just from high school vibes, you know what I mean? Like literally, there's a time when me and my brethren packed up like one of our friends' cars and just say, "Hey, what we're gonna do a high school tour," and we just called up different schools that we know, different people. You know, there's clubs here in Jamaica, like school clubs. So we just
Oh,
called
okay.
up different clubs and we just went to different schools and performed. And that's initially how a lot of people knew about me in, I guess, high school.
Oh, wow. So it's, and then you just kept going with that. And then when was your
Yeah.
kind of first kind of like next step up from the high school tour?
Yeah, but we weren't thinking about any of that. It was just vibes. It was just like, yo, can I come to your school, come perform? All right, cool. Yo, can I come to your school, come perform? All right, my team. Like, that's all it was.
Okay. And then what?
Yeah.
How did you get kind of? What was the next level of your career then from that band?
So I was always performing with the band, you know what I mean? Even
Mhm.
after high school, I guess the next level of my career was commercial releases, you know what I mean? Like to
Mhm.
actually release music. One of the first tune I released was a tune called Rain Start Fall and Victims. One was done by a major label music group and the next one was done by Basic Records, you know what I mean?
Mhm. Wow, major label. That must have been pretty cool to have that experience.
Yeah, they're called major label. They're not a
Oh, they're called
major
major
label, but
label.
they're still a major label.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but this my second song actually was by a production group called Basic. I don't know if you know a tune like name like Fling. They show Lafayette Fling. Like the
Mhm.
Ding Dong and them people they're like this these the same set of people and we were just recording in his his mother's closet, you know what I mean? Like
Oh,
vibes.
wow.
So yeah, and but we were serious about it, like playing instruments, overdubbing on these tracks, like you know, we were very serious about it. So it never matter where the recording process was taking place. It was just always, yo, let's do this.
Mhm. Wow. Okay. And then you ended up putting out your first record. What 2016? Move in.
Yeah,
Tell me about that
that
album.
was that was produced by Oneness Records. You know what I mean? And we give thanks just to be a part of any kind of project that just could be for the people. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's just all about. I guess to me at the time, there's a lot of movement in Earth. Like people always get like busy, but they find no time for themselves to
Mhm.
move within themselves. You know what I mean? To check themselves. So yeah, it was just a wake up call kind of vibe through the music, of course.
Okay. And did you tour on that album at all, or were you out playing still quite a bit?
Yeah, I toured. Actually, that was one of the first projects that did make me tour. It was number 4 in like Germany on some charts.
Wow.
And things. Yeah, I mean you'd have to ask management them question there, cause I don't. I just I just know that people did love it. You know what I mean? People did love the energy of it. People did full joy, just the spirit of what we put in. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
it helped them. You know what I mean? So I give thanks for that. But as a commercial release, it did well in Europe. It was done by our European group too. So that was a great introduction for me to Europe. And
Were
I
you able to
toured.
go out there and play?
Yeah. I toured I think I toured the year when it came out, 2016,
Mhm.
and then I toured the year after, 2017, a longer extensive tour. I did main stage in Summer Jam Festival and
Wow.
a
That's
couple other
big.
places. Yeah,
That's awesome. That's really
yeah.
cool. And so that between that record and then the one that you just put out, obviously the world shut down. And I know this album that you just wrote is kind of, was written what like during that process.
Yeah, it's for the world to, you know what I mean? I mean, if the world is shutting down, then we have to find out what we need to do for the world at the same time and for ourselves. So
Mhm.
while we're staying inside, it's just an ode to, sorry, it was just an ode to people to stay inside themselves, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? To take care of inside themselves, you know what I mean? To balance their mental, emotions, and spirit, you know what I mean?
Mhm. With a new album though, I did read that you wrote a song every day and recorded
Oh
it.
yeah, it was a tune every day. Like this door behind me,
Uh-huh.
that's the studio, and
Oh, wow.
I live pretty close to it, so I just walked every day, and um, me and my manager, who's also my engineer and producer, Smart Kid. So this is Smart Kid Records. We just record a tune a day, and it was vibes. You know what I mean? I had the money tune already. Quarantine slide it started with quarantine side, and then I just more enough tune just forward. You know what I mean?
Mhm. So you wrote and recorded a song every day. How long did that go on for? Because I know you got 10 songs on the
So
record.
too long, man.
And then how did
I've
you
like
narrow those down for the album?
yeah, I have like 6 songs, 6 extra songs that I never used. and probably never going to use.
Okay.
Yeah. But Humble, one of the songs came like way after I was done. When I was in Florida, you know, I was in Florida and I was in the epicenter actually. Like I flew up and then they announced 3 days later that this is the epicenter. But I know I wasn't scared because I wasn't going anywhere. I was in the
Right.
studio. I never cared about nothing else. You know what I mean? So I was in epicenter and I wrote a song called Humble. And that song was added last.
Oh,
That song was added then, and then the song with Tarrus Riley was added last.
Okay, Make It Breathe. That was the
Yeah,
last song you added. Okay.
yeah.
So before COVID hit, were you recording? Were you working on what would be a
Yeah,
record?
we had a whole record to put out, like videos and everything.
Oh my gosh! Did you just put it on hold and to write this album, or what?
Yeah,
What
yeah. I
happened?
mean, no, we keep making music regardless, so that's nothing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But definitely, like we'll put it on hold and just, music.
With it's inspiring to hear that you were able to work that hard throughout the whole thing, because I mean, I've talked to other artists that got like, you know, so sick of being inside, but for you to be able to get in and like really write and record a song every day, I mean, that's really
Yeah,
impressive.
I'm grateful.
Mm-hmm. Well, the record's done and we're all still inside. I
Yeah.
mean, what
Don't worry. I'm going to make an outside record for people to go outside very soon.
Okay, I love that. I love that you called it Inside, and I didn't really put it together until like I started reading about it and researching that. Yeah, it's because everyone was inside.
Yeah.
And what were you able? Was it pretty easy to come up with concepts? Like, how are you coming up with the concepts for the
Yeah,
songs? Like
I'm a conceptual artist from the get go. You know what I mean? From every song that I write, there's a concept within a concept. Every project that I try to do, there's a concept within a concept. For moving, it was movement. So a lot of the songs were moving. On moving, were move your feet, move yourself, run, energy. You know what I mean?
ride.
Right. Yeah. Dance. Yeah. So all of the songs were literally movement driven, and then inside they were also about being stuck inside and being stuck on your phone. Like people are just into them phone rather than into themselves. So you have song like, well, here in Jamaica there's a saying, "Tanning your yard," which means you have to stay home. And then they were play on songs like "Everybody Going Live," which I'm
Oh yeah.
sure everyone is sick and tired of everyone going live. And there's songs like "Pose for Me." You know what I mean? Because to go live, you have to strike a pose, you know.
Like selfie.
Yeah, so it's like I played on a lot of them thing there, and just the emotions and the workings of how people feel right now. You know what I mean? Like The Mask, and then there's a song called Second Wave, and then later there's a song called Waiting, which wave, water, waiting, whatever, you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's like, it's just the way my mind works. I have to allow my mind to work the way it wants to work.
Sure. Well, that's crazy. That I mean, you have a whole concept, the quarantine slide, and then even 5Gs, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
And then you were able to get quite a few features on that song as well. Was that difficult to do? Was that all over Zoom, or was that done after the fact?
Yeah, I mean, it was true over the phone, and you know what I mean. One before Corona, my brother, just leave some vocals here at the studio, same studio, Smart Kid Records. Sorry, he left some vocals here at the studio, Smart Kid Records, and I knocked I played new music around the vocals and stuff, and then I told him, "Yo, I'm going to take." I asked him if he having what his intentions for the tune, and he told me, "Say, yo, I'm good to go." So he heard it like with 4 other artists later, and I heard him say called 5G, and he was like, "Yo, I'm crazy."
That's awesome. Yeah, and this song is huge. I mean, it's doing really, really well. I mean, it was like number 1 on Spotify, right? I mean, Pandora. It was number 1.
Oh yeah. True. Big up. I never even remember that. Respect. Big up Pandora.
That's huge. That's really cool. What speaking of going live, do you have any ambition to do that, or are you just like, everyone's doing this, I'm not even gonna waste my time with it?
I mean, we'll go live every day. We'll get up. I literally said that in the song. I go live every night. I go live
Yeah.
every time I wake up. Yeah, literally. So
But as far as like live on the Instagram, you don't care.
I mean, yeah, whenever, you know what I mean? Like, if the vibes hit, but I'm not going to go on it like, what you guys doing today? Hey, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, no, come
Sure.
on. I've been on a live one time and the person was just looking in the camera. I'm like, yo, what's supposed to happen right now?
Just
You feel me?
like
Like, I was just like, yo, what is happening next? But vibes, you know?
that's cool, man. That's awesome. Are you still working? I mean, you said the studio's right behind you.
Yeah, I working actually.
Oh, really? That's awesome. Like, are you got more material ready
Yeah,
to
we
come
always
out?
have material. Yeah, we always have things. Vibes.
Yeah, totally. And what about playing live? I mean, are you itching to get out there or?
Yeah, we have some shows actually coming up soon, but it's just virtual things.
Oh, okay. Like live type things, or
Yeah,
is it
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be like in a setting? Like that's cool. Like full band.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Have you been able to like get together and jam at all, or no?
Yeah, definitely. We did some recently, like last week or so.
Mm-hmm.
So we have like two more, and then that's vibes.
That's cool. That's really cool. And then like are the shows just in around? Oh, you said they're live show or like streaming shows, right?
Yeah, live stream. So some of them are pre-recorded. I don't know what I'm allowed to say if they're pre-recorded or what, but they're going to be streamed live.
They will happen.
Yeah, they will happen. They will happen. Respect.
That's cool. Well, after like with the record, what were you most excited about? Just like being able to get it out, like the
Yeah,
concept.
you know, it's my first project since in like 5 years. So we
Yeah.
give thanks that like we could put out a body of work. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
that was the main aim and the main goal of just the whole entire situation. Just
Because you had something ready, right? You said you had another record ready to go.
the other record, like
Oh my
totally.
god! And then is the plan to release that after the fact, or
Who knows?
you don't have a plan? Who knows?
I mean, I have a plan, but I don't want to say it yet.
Got you. That's awesome though. Well, what about videos for this record?
Yeah, Make It Breathe is the next video, and we have some visualizers already for some other tune.
Very exciting. That's really
Yes.
cool.
Respect.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, man, for talking with me today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, every time.
Yeah, very cool. I have one more question before I let you go, though. I want to
Let's go.
know if you have any advice for aspiring artists.
Yeah, create freely, create bravely, and just follow in the spirit. You know, like you know all that you need to know. You know what I mean? And while you're also creating, just make sure you work on that every day. Make sure you work on the business and marketing just as much. If you understand it, cool, work hard. If you don't understand it, get someone that does. And simple. That's just it.